Hello you guys, Alexa Alchemy here for your weekly card pull. I am going to be doing a card pull for the week of February 6th for all of my Aquarians right now. So if you have Aquarius energy, natal placements, maybe your sun, moon, rising, or other, this reading is for you. So I do have a couple of decks. I'm going to get right into the reading. I have a couple of decks today, so we'll be doing a pull from each one. But I'm going to start out by asking for any general guidance for you guys for this week. Any things that you might need to know, maybe things you want to keep in mind. We have a full moon on the 5th, so energies might be a little bit heightened, emotions might be a little bit heightened. So I think I want to start out by just asking for what guidance we have for navigating that, coming out of that energy. Anything that might be helpful for you, my dear Aquarians. That card wants to come out. And let's see here. I feel like I'm gonna pull 3 to 5 cards for you guys right now. Yeah, okay. All right, so we'll start out with the Crystal Spirits deck, and then I have 2 others. I have 2 Oracle and 1 Tarot that I'm going to be pulling from today. So we will see what wants to come up for you. So interesting. This has been an interesting theme lately. So the first card I'm going to go into is the card of Kyanite, and this card has a lot to do with diplomacy, healthy relationships, mending fences, building bridges, especially if you've had any tension with other people or tension within your relationships. This card is a really big encouragement for you to look at those and to acknowledge those. They can be things within yourself if you feel like pieces of yourself, maybe fragmentation. I'm getting the word fragmentation, so maybe some of you might want to do a little bit of parts work. But I think a lot of you, this might have to do with your relationships. Work is coming through very strongly. I feel like for some of you, this might be a work relationship or a co-worker, or someone that you're working on a project with, that maybe there is some level, my dear Aquarians, of diplomacy that might be helpful for you in this upcoming week. I also pulled in reverse the card of Fluorite, and this card, again in reverse, it's going to be upside down, so in the upright position the card looks like this. Fluorite has a lot to do with the mind. This is a very airy card, and usually this card will come up when there's a level of clarity that is needed or a level of confusion that's about to disperse. So I feel like for some of you, maybe this last full moon brought up a level of confusion with how to move forward, how to deal with certain people, how to deal with certain relationships, what you want out of life, because it was a full moon in Leo, which has a lot to do with your self-expression and your expression of your truth. Maybe some of you are a little bit confused as to where you stand or what you want to say. I feel like some of these cards are going to support this, but there's some level of lack of clarity. That's all I'm getting out of that card right now. I'm going to return to that one. But there's some lack of clarity that I feel like some of you are going to be maybe working with, navigating, or improving. Okay, these 2 cards I think will go together for sure. So, very interesting. I also did pull for you guys the card of Amazonite? I feel very unprofessional that I just questioned that. Amazonite, I think is how it's pronounced. And Amazonite, this card has a lot to do with truth, revealings. Maybe for some of you, there are some secrets that are coming out, whether it's yours or other people. Some level of honest truth. I feel like there's some kind of revealing or some kind of revelation, and this doesn't have to be a specific thing. Like, it's not like, oh, someone deceived you and they're gonna come forward about it, though that could be the case for some of you. I feel like there's more a revelation in the way of like the flow of things, the flow of events. Maybe for some of you there was confusion, like with the Fluorite in reverse. Maybe there's confusion about what the next steps are, where you're going in your life, what you want out of it, and this upcoming week might present to you a path forward. Maybe it's going to present to you, and I feel like this is a really good thing. Both beautiful green ones as well, green stones. But yeah, I feel like this is going to be a really positive revealing. It may feel uncomfortable at times or in certain ways, but I do feel that there is some level of an unraveling of a path forward or possible path forward that you could take. I did also pull in reverse, so an upside down, the card of Blue Chalcedony, and this card is really an encouragement to slow down. It comes with the primary message that easy does it. So my Aquarians, if you've been moving fast, and I know Aquarius is an air sign, so especially in your mind, like if you've been anxiety is coming through, if you've had a lot of anxiety, or if you've been moving through things in your brain super quickly, really rapidly, like not able to really like sit down and absorb everything that's going on in your life or the lessons that might be coming through. My Aquarians, I do feel with this card that there is a really beautiful opportunity for you to slow down and to restore balance. If you don't, I think you will be forced into it. I think for some of you, maybe you'll get sick or you'll get a cold, or you already have, and maybe this is just an encouragement for you to slow down. And if you haven't, I would take advantage of your good health and just slow down because you can. It doesn't mean you have to stop completely. I think there's a certain level of value that will come from this. And if you feel that I don't have the time, I don't have the space, I have too much going on in my life, I can talk. I have too much going on in my life, I can't slow down, then I think it would benefit you to intentionally slow down momentarily. Even if that means, okay, I'm gonna stop to meditate for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes in the day. Hello, goodbye motorcycle. Yeah, I feel like for some of you, it might be nice to just take it easy for a period of time. This doesn't have to be forever, okay? It could even just a morning or an evening, you know, I don't know. I'm gonna pull some more cards on that one, but the last one on that topic, but the last one that I pulled out of the Crystal Spirits deck was Raw Morganite, and this card really encourages you to come forward with a level of gentleness. I feel like some of you may be really hard on yourselves or with other people, and there is a really, really big encouragement anytime that this card is pulled to be gentle. Honestly, be gentle, be compassionate. You don't need to be so hard on yourself and on others all of the time. And there is definitely a level of vulnerability that I think, and for some of you, I feel like moving slow in and of itself is like the vulnerability. Like I feel like for some of you, you're scared to slow down because slowing down will force you to reveal things about yourself, or will expose things either to others or to you yourself about you that maybe feel a little bit vulnerable. I feel like this could definitely be in a work related scenario as well. Maybe for some of you, you're in a management position, or the word micromanagement is coming through. So maybe there's something in the way of like I don't know. I feel like maybe some of you, okay, this is gonna sound really harsh, and I say this lovingly, my dear Aquarians. I feel like some of you may be micromanaging or managing others as a way to hide from your own responsibilities, maybe to hide from your own flaws, your own shadows, maybe. And I don't know, I feel like this could be way off, but I also feel like for some of you it could be spot on. There's something in the way of subconsciously trying to hide things from yourself that maybe you need to look at, that will actually make you a better leader for other people or for your team. I'm gonna pull some cards to ask for clarity about that specifically. Yeah, I think just clarity on maybe what that's about. Yeah, we're gonna just go. We're gonna go with this flow. We're gonna go with this flow, my Aquarians. Wow. Okay. We have two cards just fly out. So we have Welcome the Divine Masculine, interesting, and Creator Fire. Straight up, I've never pulled this card out of this deck before. So I'm gonna open up the book for this one, because I honestly am not as familiar with this card. I've had this deck for over a year, and I pull from it pretty regularly, and I don't think I've ever had this one come out. So Aquarians, thank you, something new for me. Okay, so you can take a peek at the card. This one is from the Sacred Creators Oracle deck, a beautiful deck. Welcome the Divine Masculine. So this has a lot to do with young energy. Some people will pronounce it yang, but technically it's yang, which is the masculine energy. So masculine versus feminine. I'm going to get into that before I even look at the analysis. But masculine energy is very linear. It's direct. It's straight from A to B. Feminine energy, the yin energy, is cyclical, and it has a lot to do with cycles and circles, and it feels, and it's here and it's there, and both of them are really, really important. Both of them are necessary for life. If you're always straight drive ahead, all action, all progress all the time, you don't open yourself up to opportunities for reflection. And this is very interesting that this card came out. I'm getting some contradictions, my Aquarians. I'm so sorry if this is confusing, but I did pull some clarity cards, so I think it will all make sense by the end of the reading. But okay, so message with this card. Here comes the sun. I love that as an opener. The energy of Divine Masculine is bright and fierce. It can warm hearts, break down barriers, and inspire minds. It can grow food for thought, and it can feed a village. Interesting. Passive waiting is not the right answer right now. Go get that thing you've been dreaming of. Make your move. This enthusiastic, creative energy is ready to set your path on fire. So, okay, I feel like for some of you, you're ready to step into something for sure. And I also pulled the card of Creator Fire, which is... fire energy is very creative in and of itself. So this card, I think, is encouraging you to tap into your own fire, whatever that may be. Fire could be your sense of passion. Fire could be your sense of drive. Maybe for some of you, there are projects that you are working on that you've lost, like maybe you've lost touch with your why, or lost touch with your reasonings for the things that you're doing, and maybe this disconnect is causing you to be disconnected from the people on your team or from the situation as a whole. I don't know. I feel like there's a level of disconnect for sure that some of you are experiencing, and the encouragement with this card is to reignite that passion and to find your enthusiasm, whatever that means. I do feel like for some of you, some things need to be burned down in order to rebuild. So there's definitely some Scorpio underlying, some Scorpio energy with this card. If you have a Scorpio moon or Scorpio placements in your chart, I would definitely pay attention to that. Okay, there's a lot of energy going on here. I'm so sorry. This is like this is not a super straightforward reading. I feel like there's a lot of elements I need to pull together here. Okay, let me think about this for a second. Let me feel into this, if you will. All right, my Aquarians. I feel like for some of you, you have a new project coming in or a new opportunity coming in, and maybe certain relationships that you have already existing with people are the key to getting there. There may be, again with the Kyanite, there may be some tensions in those relationships or some things that you may need to work through or want to work through in order to open up the corridors, if you will, so that you can have those new projects open up. But I do feel like those new passion projects will open up for you when you allow... Okay, this feels super strange. When you allow yourself to take a break. This is so strange. So, okay. Contradictions. So you have this masculine, divine masculine card, right? It's telling you to go for it. It's telling you to move forward. I also pulled for you this Raw Morganite card, which is very feminine, and it's very much encouraging you to be gentle. So I think for you, my Aquarians, there's a combination of these two energies. There's a combination of yin and yang. Again, you can't actually have progress forward unless you have both. So for some of you, maybe you're in the part of the cycle where you need to just take that little reset period. I like to think of this as like a slingshot. Like this is the point, you're at the point in which we're pulling the rock back in the sling. So taking that moment of rest so that when it's released and let go, then it's propelled forward and it's able to actually move forward to that thing that it has so much passion for. So I do feel like some of you are on the cusp of some really cool projects or some really cool things. Again, because fluorite and amazonite, which both have to do with revealing and whatnot, I do feel like for some of you, whatever this thing is, this project will be revealed to you throughout the course of this week, if it hasn't already. And I feel like for most of you, it might still be like a little bit of a question mark what this thing is. And if that's the case and you're like being driven crazy and this reading is driving you crazy because you're like, I want some fucking answers, I'm sorry. I think you are meant to be working through a level of uncertainty right now, but the best way to create clarity for yourself is to consciously choose to release confusion. So if there are things that you are confused about right now in your approach maybe, or things that you're confused about in terms of like, okay, I don't actually know what I want, or don't actually know how I want to move forward, I would encourage you to take some time out, meditate, again with the blue Chalcedony, meditate, allow yourself to just become still and to allow that confusion to release itself. as a byproduct of you just taking a moment to get clear on what your passions are. And I feel now it's coming clearly. I get it now. I feel like for most of you, when you become clear about what you feel or what you want, it's going to help you to open up those doors that are going to move you forward into those passion projects, those things that you want to actually call in. So any lack of clarity, my Aquarians, that you are feeling, I think you're going to find that clarity by just taking a moment to get clear with yourself on how you feel and what you want. I do feel like I want to pull one more card from the Oracle deck. Do I want to do tarot yet? I don't want to do tarot yet for you guys, and I think it's going to come out of Crystal Spirits. Yeah, so we'll see if there's one other card for the sake of clarity. Anything else? Appreciate you guys for sitting and hanging out as I kind of work through this message. I feel like per how I started the reading, it was a little bit like all over the place. Okay, so I wanted one card and we got 3, so we'll see if there's any main themes here. Okay, Spessartine, Garnet, Orlite, and the Marine cards. Okay, interesting. So I did pull for you guys Spessartine, Garnet, and this card has a lot to do with like allowing yourself to be sparkly and shiny and to allow other people to see you. Because we just had full moon in Leo, there's a general encouragement with full moon in Leo to be willing to express yourself and express yourself openly. If you don't already follow me on TikTok, but you are interested in the astrology side of things, I would recommend giving me a follow at alexab.alchemy. I do every new and full moon and other important transits, I do an episode of what I call What the Fuck Astrology, and I talk about what's going on in astrology. And we did just have a full moon in Leo, and that energy encourages us to come forward and to be willing to be seen. So for some of you, I do feel like there's a level of maybe being willing to be seen that will benefit you and benefit your connections, especially with those people that maybe you feel like you have a little bit of tension with, or I don't know, some struggles in relating to other people. I think there's something in the way of just being willing to be seen and allowing yourself to be seen that might help you figure that out. I did also pull the card of Lemurian Kurtz, which has a lot to do with big picture thinking. So for some of you, I feel like maybe you've lost sight of the big picture and you're getting caught up in the details. So maybe that's why you're feeling confused. So to consciously release that confusion, maybe getting back in touch again with that fiery side. For some of you, maybe this is a project you've been working on and you've just lost your pizzazz because you're so in it and so focused on the little mundane pieces. So I do feel like some of you, my Aquarians, it would benefit you to take a little bit of a step back to just evaluate, what's important for you. And finally, I did pull Orlite in reverse. This has a lot to do with meditation on the present, meditation on what is important to you. So yeah, and I do, this card also comes with the message of allowing the truth to be seen. So I think in general, main themes for you, my Aquarians, there is some kind of truth that is unfolding for you, a path that is unfolding, a passion project, something is really opening up for you, my Aquarians, this week. And I would encourage you to allow that process to happen. Be gentle with yourself as this occurs. Be gentle with the timeline. Everything happens in divine good timing, even if it doesn't feel like it. I think you're getting all of the things that you need in order for this process to unfold. So I feel good about closing out with this. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, please make sure that you reach out and let me know. You can find me on TikTok, as I noted, on Instagram, all social media at alexab.alchemy. If you're interested in a reading or you want a little bit more clarity, or if you feel that a reading specifically for you would be helpful, definitely shoot me a message and let me know so we can arrange for one of those. And outside of that, I do these readings every single week free of charge. So if you would like to leave a donation, please feel free. If not, would love to have you at least subscribe, leave a thumbs up if it was helpful. Tune in every single week, or just whenever you feel like you need a little bit of guidance and a little bit of tender loving care. And the support will always be here for you. So, all right, thank you, my dear Aquarians, for tuning in. I appreciate you. If you haven't already checked out the videos for your sun, your moon, your rising, and your north node, make sure that you do that, as these readings are designed to channel for major natal placements and not just your sun sign. And with that being said, I will see you guys next week. I love you and thank you so much. Bye.